This ticket here, Auschwitz-Birkenau Memorial, what does it say here? State Museum, okay, State Museum, 1445 English. You know what it means? I was back into Poland. It was, I think, the 5th or the 6th day. Yeah, yeah, we're with the Turks in there, I think, so it's the 4th or the 5th. And anyways, we're going there with some bus again, one of those long travels. Maybe it was like hour and something. I was making them laugh a lot in the bus. So we went first off through the city, but with the bus we didn't go out of it because this memorial, it's not exactly in the city, kind of in the end, something like that. So what it was, the Polish word for Auschwitz is Oswiencim, and the Deutsch guys, they called it Auschwitz. So we went to the concentration camp after all. We landed there, and our leader was not only with our Bulgarian group but also with the Estonian group. He got two groups to rule. Um, so we wait there, and we grouped out, sorted, went to toilet. There was those automats, vending machines where the drinks were very, very expensive, weirdly expensive. Um, and then we kind of messed up. Some of our people got to somewhere, we didn't know where they were, and after that, we found ourselves. We went and got one of those pair of headphones with some kind of a radio station or something that you can regulate the channels, volume and stuff. Connected them with the headphones, and we got those things. Uh, so those are meant to show that we're the group that you know this woman was leading. So she came, the Tor leader. Anyways, and she first off explained us, how to use those. She's gonna talk on the microphone. So, but at most of the time I was next to her, so I didn't use the headphones because I tried them just like for maybe even less than a minute, and my head was already hurting. So I was keeping up to her, close so that I could listen to her voice, not through the headphones. And first off, we went through this gate of the camp that says Arbeit macht frei. She says it's kind of ironical because they were here working and it was like jail. So it was literally jail, concentration camp. And you know, it's there's only one restored building. Everything else, it's original, authentic. At least they say it like that. But some of the buildings, they were destroyed. Some of them were halfly destroyed. Others, there was only sticks coming out from them. Some buildings didn't exist at all anymore. And we went in there. There was a certain path to follow. There was a system already built for this camp. Um, we didn't visit all the buildings, but a small part of them. So it was interesting. They kept the shoes. They're like um, the people get from the train down there. There was a lot of people in those trains. They were bunked up, like crowded, and some people died in the trains. Lack of oxygen, air, food, and stuff. Being too hot, too many carbon dioxide and stuff like that, and also sicknesses, and then they go down, and the soldiers tell them that they're gonna go take a shower. And this is the part that's the most popular maybe from this campus. the gas chambers. Some people say that they didn't really even use gas on people in this camp, but it's arguable. So yeah, they have proof. Of course, they have all those cans that are emptied out that had this. What was it? I don't remember the name, but something, something, something. This gas thing, and they stole their shoes. They got their hair out, their clothes. There was a whole storage for all the luggage that those people took. They had the right to, something like 20 to 30 kilograms of luggage, so they carried almost all their estate because they thought that, it's just gonna be a moving, yeah, uh, like going from one home to another because of wars and stuff like that. They thought it's something normal, so they were like, okay, never mind that. It's just gonna be, we're gonna go from this city to that city. So they went there, and eventually, most of them, well, not most of them, but part of them get killed. The others go for labor. Some of them are already, kind of small leaders in the jail. Like, they tell others what to do. Like uh, supervisors and stuff like that. So they have ranks and they do different stuff, cooking and etc. Um, there was a lot of soldiers in there also. And the roads there, they were awful, like worse than living, like rocks and mud and stuff like that, and really awful roads. So, well, what to say, man? It's just I wasn't that much horrified as they told us. You know, the leader of our group before we went in there, he said like, hey, if someone thinks he's got too much from that, he just comes and tells me, hey, I'm gonna wait in front of the building, and because this is too much for me. He instructed us, and it sounds like it's something so horrible, but it's not that scary. Maybe it's just because I'm not enough emotional, but yeah. So um, that's it. Like, what else? And there was a lot of those buildings. There was different towers, walls. Uh, the gas chamber. It was something like a bunker, and they dropped the gas in there, and people were crowded, and it's like, wow, very weird. So after this Auschwitz, we went to Birkenau, which is the continuement. Like Auschwitz, if Auschwitzim is one, then Birkenau is like 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Just Birkenau is a lot bigger than Auschwitz, and Auschwitz was an experiment, and Birkenau was the continuement of this experiment with a very bigger scale. And over there, there were the rails, for the trains. You could see them on Auschwitz. We didn't see the train rails. I think so, yeah. But on Birkenau, we saw them, and the roads were a lot bigger there, although they were the same low quality. And they had these channels that were supposed to help for the water to go down in there, but they didn't help, so the roads were awful. And most of the people there lived in horse stables, like, and one part of them, the the one from the right, if you come from the entrance from the right side, I don't know which direction it is, but a big part of the stables in there were destroyed because at some point it was, like after the war ended, people just came in there, got some bricks, some wood, some stuff to build their own house. But at some point the government said that it's not legal anymore to steal from there, and they made it on a museum, state memorial. So now it is a museum. And in Birkenau you have this one train wagon that was bought from a very rich person that was son of one of the Jews that uh, he stopped on Birkenau. He went out of this train wagon, and they asked him to give his luggage, and he was something like a professor, I don't recall exactly. He had precious documents, in his luggage, so he denied. He didn't want to leave his luggage, so they shot him at place. And yeah. So this entrepreneur, his son, he bought this wagon for a memory. And there was this, the stones on like 50 languages, something like that. I don't recall really, but a lot of languages that said why is this memorial and stuff like that. And then there was those houses where a lot of people lived on one place, like 6 people on a cubic meter or something like that. Some crazy numbers. I'm probably not saying them exactly, but it's very weird because like hundreds of people live in one house that's actually not quite big. And yeah, what else? I don't know. Birkenau. It was very weird, yes. Oh, there was some destroyed buildings, and also there were pools that were used for fire extinguishing, but also the soldiers used them to swim in there. Yeah, that's like one cool thing. And yeah, all the people that they burned in there, they burned their bodies, and the leader said, the tourist leader, she said that the ash from the people that were burned during this concentration camp existence, is still in the ground.